Hello my lovelies! So today I'm going to be taking you through my 2021 bullet journal setup. For the start of this bullet journal, I really wanted to keep things as clean and fresh looking as possible, but still make it enjoyable to look at so that I actually feel motivated to open it up and use it on a regular basis. So I've kept everything very monochrome and pretty minimal when it comes to doodles and decorations. I was browsing Pinterest for some ideas for my cover page and I decided on dandelions, mostly because I found this image of all these various ways to draw them and I thought it looked really cute and effective but simple to draw. But also because to me they kind of represent shedding the old and sending out hopes and wishes that the future will be brighter and just trusting that nature and the universe will take care of things. For this bullet journal, I wanted to make things really easy for myself. In the past, I've added lots of different and various spreads that I thought I might want or need throughout the year. But honestly, a lot of the time the spreads just end up unused and I end up feeling extra pressure to fill them in, or I just feel kind of guilty that they've gone to waste. So this year, I wanted to just start with the spreads that I know I'll use and that are simply to help me stay organised, and consequently this bullet journal already feels like more of an organisation and productivity tool rather than this big daunting project, and I'm really excited to actually start using it. Just wanted to take a quick moment to talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. You probably all know by now that Skillshare is my favourite online learning resource. There's loads of great videos to help you with your bullet journaling journey, ways to set it up, various spread ideas, classes to help with hand lettering, and ones to help with improving artistic skills. Lately, I've been enjoying videos that help with learning simple doodles to spruce up my spreads a little bit. One that I particularly liked was a lovely class by Suzanne Kurilla called Floral Illustration Doodling Flowers for Beginners, and I'll make sure to include the link to that video in the description. A yearly subscription to Skillshare works out to less than $10 a month, which I personally think is really reasonable, and if you click the link in the description that Skillshare has provided, you can try out Skillshare Premium for free to see if it will suit your needs. So give it a go. What have you got to lose? So on my next spread, I decided on adding a word of the year, and I chose the word recover. This year has been a particularly tough one for most people across the world, I expect, and I've definitely struggled at times. I've also spent most of this year pregnant. I'm literally due any day now. Both my boys actually came a couple of weeks early, so I've been frantically trying to get myself organised and mentally prepared for the new little man to arrive at any moment. Honestly, I'm super nervous about the birth and the fact that I've got to stay longer in the hospital than normal because of some health complications, and we've had quite the emotional whirlwind as a family at home the past few months, so things have been particularly stressful, especially towards the end of this year. So for 2021, I felt like recover was the perfect word to remind myself to take it easy, be gentle and kind to myself, and just focus on my lovely boys and my new little baby. And I just really feel the need to simplify my life as much as possible in the new year and build myself up so that I'm in a stronger physical and emotional state to tackle my goals later on down the line. Now, this spread, I love the way it looks. I really like it. I always enjoy these, but I made a mistake in February. So from February onwards, it's all wrong. Usually that would drive me absolutely insane, but I'm not so fussed. If I need to redo it, I can sort of do it. I can cut out a piece and redo it and put it back into, glue it back into the... Come on, Elise. I can redo it all and then glue it over that page so that it's more accurate, so that I can actually use it. It's just like a day out, like the days don't match up properly. So, but I also have another date tracker coming up in a minute, so it really doesn't matter that much. With my future log, I've already filled quite a bit of it in, and I did this decoration down the center with some more of these dandelions. They're so simple to draw. They're really, really easy. And, I just sort of drew a circle shape to give me a rough idea of where all the little fluffy, stuffy thingy-mabobby bits go. And then just went round and then added the lines, and it's just so easy. You find a little reference picture on Google or Pinterest and have at it. It's really simple. I swear anybody can do these. And then I added some little banners for the months, and I've only gone up to June because I don't think this plan is going to last me any longer than that. I added some family traditions that I want to implement each month, and then just some extra dates, birthdays and things that I know are coming up in the meantime. And I really enjoyed how this spread looked. It's nice and simple, but it does the trick. Next, I've got another monthly tracker spread thingy. Now, if I'm honest, I only put this in because I just love the way they look, and I just wanted to have it in my journal for the aesthetics of it. But turns out I really needed it because of the mistake I made on my year at a glance spread. So that was a little stroke of luck. Thank you, past me, for indulging myself in things that look nice. I'm going to use this one to mark in the boys' school term dates and use mostly icons to see if there are any appointments or birthdays, because there's not enough space each day to write them out in full. I'll also write down the page number for any notes that I've made throughout my journal about particular days, so that they're nice and easy to find when the date comes up. I have seen these sort of spreads done before, and I think there's a particular name for them, but I can't think what it... I think it's something like a calendar index. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, because there's loads of videos on these kind of spreads and how to use them, and people can search them up if they want to try using them, or try one out for next year. So I did that, marked in the weekends with one of my Tombows, and then I just added a couple more dandelions. God, why do I keep struggling with that word? And I really love looking at this spread. It's so satisfying for me to look at. The next two spreads are for organisational purposes, so I've not added any decorations or fancy things, I just wanted it to be really straightforward. On the left I've got my daily routines, things that I want to get done in the morning and evening, and the home blessing hour is for some of the things I can do to keep on top of housework that I sometimes forget or neglect. I've been making a real effort to stick to my morning and evening routines because I'm finding that it really does help my day run smoother, especially the morning routine, because I get up, crack on with it, and then I already feel like I've made some achievements right off the bat, and it just sets me up for a more relaxed and yet productive day. The evening routine is more focused around the kids to ensure that they have a good structure after school, and they both seem to have benefited from it. They know what to expect from me and what is expected of them, so evenings run smoother too. Whether I'll be able to keep up with these routines once the baby arrives, I honestly don't know, because babies tend to run on their own schedule for a while, but at least having it written down will help me to orient myself in the right direction when I'm tired and sleep deprived. On the right, I've got my daily, weekly and monthly tasks. I took this idea from a YouTuber called Duxina. I'll link her channel in the description. I just love all her videos, but this idea in particular really spoke to me. It gives a great blueprint for the tasks that need to be done at various times, and it'll help me stay on track with things that I might have otherwise forgotten, especially if I neglect to set up any weekly spreads, which does happen quite often, and I presume will happen even more frequently once the bubba gets here. I'll probably scan and print off this spread and laminate it so that I can pull it out and reference it when I sit down to do my planning like Duxina does, rather than having to flip back to the page constantly. But at least I know that it's here in my bullet journal if I ever lose the printout or if it gets destroyed by tiny humans. So this next spread is my bills tracker. I wanted to keep this one really straightforward. I've used spreads for monthly bill tracking and they have worked for me in the past, but I feel like this spread gives me a really good overview of all the basic information I'll need at a glance. So I've got what the bill is, how much it costs, and the date that the direct debit is due to be paid. Then once it's paid, I can mark it off on the monthly section. I've had so much trouble this past year with bills, mostly because our income was less than our outgoings, which obviously will just get worse month on month. But I've spoken to someone from a free debt helpline to help me get back on track, because I just couldn't figure it all out on my own. And now I feel like I've got a bit more control over my finances, and I think I'll be able to start making progress with repayments and stuff. If you're struggling with money management, I highly recommend finding a free financial advisor that can give impartial advice, because they know all the tips and tricks to help you, and I've personally found it so helpful, and the stress around money has just been reduced 1,000-fold since speaking to them. Then on the right, I've got a nice simple wish list for things that I want and need, really straightforward. And then finally, I've got a double page spread for significant events. I've never used this one before, and I really wish I had, because there's so many times where I think, oh, when did that happen? When was that? Like, for instance, when Ridley broke his leg, it was like, what date did that happen? When did that happen? And when my mum moved, and she changed her house, and when just different things like that, stuff that I would like to remember, either for like practical purposes or just for memory purposes. So that's a nice simple spread, and I'm looking forward to using that one. So that is the end of my 2021 setup. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and please like this video because it really helps my channel out. I wish you all a really Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I doubt I'm going to be able to get a January spread out with baby on the way. But I will see you in the next year. Lots of love. Bye.